My name is Gisela Torella, and you're watching the Vision Earth channel.
You can grow it, right? That's one of our main fertilizers.
You need it all.
The nursery was like maybe the second thing we put in, and this is Melaleuca. If you guys are familiar, you should be familiar with Melaleuca if you live down here.
It's invasive.
It's a very invasive tree. It was brought in the 30s, I believe, to help drain. Maybe 1918. Yeah, there was a big push to drain the Everglades and develop, and spreading. They flew over the Everglades, dispersing seeds of Melaleuca. It's craziness. But so now it's a big problem, and it makes great fence posts. So kind of have a solution. You can put it to use. It's one of the things that we try to do with our farming style, sustainable agriculture and permaculture.
If anyone tells you cannot grow sprouts in full sun.
Yeah. Nick's rightfully very proud of his sprouts. He
And now, as I've told you, the ones who shop at the Green Wave now are getting the sunflower sprouts from me now.
Yeah.
Can we get some from you?
Yeah, we're gonna have part of that salad. It's gonna be mostly sprouts. Oh sure, yeah. We've got a bunch of stuff for sale if you guys want. This is what the Autism Society kids got to plant this morning, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, it was a trip.
Yeah, that was a really good time.
And what did they plant?
Jalapenos and onions and okra, more of the summer stuff, watermelon. So yeah.
So when do you think the jalapenos will start?
I think it's like 60 days or something like that.
But and then when?
It's so important to save your seeds when you're growing watermelons, because you don't find any more watermelons with seeds. They're all seedless, and that's not natural. That's right. Yeah.
Scarlet Nantes is the yellow one, the white one. So we'll create like a rainbow bundle, like multicolored carrots.
Awesome.
Yeah. People go nuts for those.
Are they tubers or modified stems?
They are roots. They're tap roots.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like ginger or anything like that. Where it's we lifted this. That's not the right word. We brought soil to this section to raise the land, because this whole farm is in a flood zone, and over last summer, basically where that truck was parked was like up to here with water. It was flooded like crazy, and so we've learned that we have to raise the soil in order to plant the fruit trees that we really want to plant. That's one of Nick's main aspirations for the farm, is to have an abundance of fruit, diverse fruit. So we're making that happen, and it's a huge amount of water, and that's a huge amount of runoff that will end up in the pond or in the canal, or end up being a hazard rather than something that we want to harvest. We want to take that water and sink it, store it, and spread it out to make use of it. So you can see all the taros that we have planted in these ditches. The water will flood into here, and once it gets to a certain height, overflow, and all these canals are in a serpentine to move that water through real slow and make sure the trees get it, not flooding them, but make sure they're able to use it. This ground cover right here, you see it all over the food forest. This is daikon radish. Oh. And let's see, this one's still pretty small. Oh. But we get some massive ones in here, and yeah, if you're familiar with daikon radish, it's really good for digestion, and it's an Asian radish. You could serve it with sushi. It's good stuff.
Let's get it twice.
We've got pineapples in here that are doing pretty good.
Are there any legumes here?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All
of these guys are legumes.
So are green beans legumes?
Got into the natural.
And what is that?
Keep on walking through. Let's get as many people over here as we can. What was your question?
And what is that?
This is pigeon peas, gandules, gunga peas.
Can you eat
Do you
them
harvest
raw?
them and they're brown or green?
Both,
right?
yeah. The green ones we'll throw in, if you're cooking rice and peas, or you could probably eat them raw too.
Right.
But the dried ones are a nice dried bean.
What cultivar banana do you have? It's a nice fatty.
We've got several varieties. We've got, I think, 5 varieties. We've got
Dwarf Cavendish?
we don't have any Cavendish because they're real susceptible to the Panama disease. We've got Lordy, Rajapuri is our shortest. We've got Mysore. We've got I'm blanking on the other three, but we got to.
I'd like some of your suckers sometime.
Sure.
Because we've got old school stuff, and it might be time to change up.
Yeah, sure. Right on.
Because we're doing
These
okay
look
with them.
really, really
All right.
just beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I was saying is, you can see the diversity in here. It's kind of jungly, and we want it even more jungly. Like, imagine this when those lychees and those mangoes are full grown, and there's a big overstore, and it's nice and shady in here. And the idea is all that diversity is the trade-off for not using chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Because it's so diverse, the bugs can't get a bloom, like an overpopulation to wipe out any of our crops. Or if we lose one crop, we've got 40 other crops, who cares? You know? So that's the route that we take on our farm. Anybody familiar with moringa? Yeah, all right. You got some moringa fans, cool.
What's that?
Moringa is, I'd wager, the most nutritious tree vegetable that there is.
But I need to wash it, right?
No, just eat it.
He's,
Yeah, go for it. We'll throw some in our salad too.
Thank you.
Um,
No, that's
Double
nice.
dose. No,
I'm gonna
eat
try
it.
it.
Eat it.
so
This is like
moringa is
bananas, but
got, I forget all the stats, but it's got more protein or more amino acids than steak. It's got more calcium than milk, blah, 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 blah. It's full of nutrients. Every part of it is some form of useful. The leaves are edible. The seed stalks are edible. The bark is medicinal. The roots are medicinal, and for a million different things. So look into moringa. Plant more moringa.
this is really good.
It looks like you can just cut a branch and plant it on the ground. Is that easy to reproduce
It
it?
grows from suckers. It grows from
I want to understand that sign.
seed. It wants to grow. It thrives. You can't stop it from growing. If we come up here, you'll see where we have a little fodder bank of it. We keep it chopped low for harvest, and then we let these ones grow tall for seed. You can do that too. Let's see, what else we got in here? We've got some edible ferns in here. We've got cranberry hibiscus. If anybody likes tart or sour, this is cranberry hibiscus. This grows really well over the summer and has
Cranberry hibiscus.
yeah, makes a nice tea. How many of you hate dollarweed? Do we have any gardeners in here?
You can eat it.
Yeah.
That's the only good news. You can eat it.
This terrible weed that you have in your yards is an edible green. And so we're going to throw some of that in our salad. Why not?
Tastes like parsley.
Yeah, it's got a real herby flavor. It's delicious. Kind of minty.
Trouble is, I can't eat enough of it.
What is
That's why you need raw meetup groups.
How about a couple of goats?
What is that you're getting?
Dollarweed.
What's
It looks like wild.
yeah,
the weed.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's delicious too.
Travels along the base of
Uh-huh.
the
Dollar.
Now you might not want to eat it out of your yard because of whatever's in your yard, but here it's good eating.
I have a question. Do you know what type of insect this is right here? It's got like a little white.
It's a little spider.
But do you know what type of spider?
Oh no.
I thought maybe it was like a pest for pineapples.
No, he's probably eating the bugs that are on there. Yeah, we try not to interfere with the bugs too much unless they're really pushing hard, you know? And we really did.
It's just amazing to be able to grab food from the floor, from nature. Imagine all the proteins, the vitamins, the energy of the sun, and the weed.
Combine that you really just for the day have a diverse.
It wants to grow. Let it grow.
So what you at a young age you became vegetarian?
All right. Let's keep on trucking.
Animals live and want to eat.
This is called Mexican sunflower, Bolivian sunflower. It's not, I don't think it's edible. It doesn't have any edible properties, but it's a huge biomass accumulator, and it draws a lot of beneficial insects with this bright yellow flower. So you see how it gets really tall back here? It does that super quick, and you can chop it back, and it'll grow from cuttings again. Point that out to the people as you pass.
Seminole pumpkin.
Are these pumpkins like
This is called spilanthes, and you eat these flowers. It's this little tiny little herb down here, little forb, and it produces a bunch of these. And if you eat it, your whole mouth is gonna feel like when your feet fall asleep or your hand falls asleep. You know, it starts tingling, and then you start salivating, like mouth starts salivating like crazy. But it's very good for your oral hygiene. It cleanses your palate, and it's really good right before you eat, you know.
Estás mirando el canal de Vision Earth Channel. Salud.
About nice. They're like this, and if they're not boats, they're farm.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he's got 3
I just have to get name tags on you, so people know who you are. What's your name? One. Space. So, just so you know a little bit about raw food. Raw food, and hopefully everything that's on this table, we'll determine in a moment, is food that is not processed. It has come straight from the earth, hopefully to a farmer stand like here, or some Whole Foods, some of our local produce places, and we end up cutting it up, somehow manipulating it to look like sometimes foods that we're familiar with and sometimes foods we have never seen before. But what I can tell you about raw food is it's all alkaline. It's all alkaline instead of acidic. And alkaline food creates health. Acidic food creates disease. So the reason I eat raw food is because I try to put things in my body that are extremely healthy. And by alkaline, most of the foods here, or all of the foods I should say, are foods that you do not need digestive enzymes for. Because the digestive enzymes are in the food. So your body doesn't have to work that hard to process what you're eating. So what we are trying to do is to show you that raw food is really a serious contender for a lifestyle because it's delicious and yummy and pleasurable. So if you really want to have an amazing experience today, what I recommend is keep your plate small. That means take a little bit of everything, because in order to enjoy this experience, you really want to taste the ingredients. That's the way to do it, especially when you come to the stuff that was just picked a few minutes ago. Because I can tell you, it's like nothing you've ever had in your mouth, except for maybe those of you who tasted that little berry up there. That was like nothing I've ever had in my mouth. But farm stuff is really delicious. Like you can taste the earth in it, and the heat, and the juiciness, and the energy. Because this is what this is all about. It's about living energy, as Gisela put it so beautifully. And so today, what you're going to do is have a fiesta of mouth orgasms, shall we say, where you can really taste the yumminess and the health of the food you're going to eat.
We are in the TreeHuggers farm. It's an organic farm where we're having a potluck now, and you see all these amazing raw foods to nurture our body, to give us all the elements that we need to prosper and to feel very healthy. And this is amazing for the community. Everybody brings a plate. It has to be organic, it has to be raw and delicious. So they make a recipe, they make something, and we all share it.
I have a supply.
If you guys need any bags, let me know. We have we're good. Where are you guys?
What are they?
Sunflower sprouts.
What are they?
Speak Spanish?
Yeah, check it out.
Can you explain to her in Spanish what sunflower sprouts are good for?
Pea shoot
Para
sprouts.
ensalada.
1 pound or half a pound? 1 pound. There's half pounds too.
Yeah, it's just me, so half pound.
There you go. So it's 6.
Oh wow, that's so good.
We have a few bags of medjool dates here, half pounds. That's the only thing that's not local and from the farm.
Is there anything you can recommend?
This is from Israel.
Is there anything you could recommend for a product?
You're kidding!
Why?
That's a fabulous price.